Into the search for the missing submersible and its 5 passengers.
Coast Guard confirmed that all 5 passengers died in what they're calling a catastrophic implosion of the vessel. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo has the details.
The debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber.
It was billed as a once-in-a-lifetime trip to see something very few would ever experience. But for the 5-member crew of the Titan, they never did see the Titanic on that ill-fated dive, and they won't be returning home.
The initial thing we found was the nose cone, which was outside of the pressure hull. We then found a large debris field. Within that large debris field, we found the front end bell of the pressure hull.
The debris fields are scattered roughly 600 feet from the bow of the Titanic. Retrieving any piece of the wreckage may be the next impossible task. For days, reports have focused on banging noises and dwindling oxygen supplies, but not an implosion. Thursday, the Coast Guard said its sonars did not detect an explosion when they were in the water.
We've had sonar buoys in the water nearly continuously and have not detected any catastrophic events when those sonar buoys have been in the water.
An internal memo by the Navy seems to contradict that. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, the Navy first detected what may have been the Titan's implosion Sunday, soon after the vessel lost contact with the mothership. Professor Jules Jaffe was a part of the team that discovered the Titanic in 1985.
My interpretation is it got to a certain point where the pressure exceeded the capability of the vehicle to maintain its mechanical integrity. A crack probably opened between the titanium front and maybe the carbon fiber back. And once that happens at that depth, boom.
Professor Jaffe believes this may be as simple as wear and tear.
But this was a third dive. The pressurization must have fatigued some of the components that cracked open at their depth of probably 9,000 feet.
Catastrophic events like these raise the question as to whether or not this type of exploration is worth it. Professor Jaffe believes it is, as long as safety is kept in mind. In the newsroom, Teresa Priolo. Good day, New York.
Against the Biden administration, showing that they knew since this past Sunday that the U.S. Navy picked up with their equipment what sounded like an implosion shortly after the vessel took off down toward the Titanic. Meaning they knew this whole time that they threw up on the TV a countdown of how much oxygen was in there and all this. They already knew. They knew, although not definitive, they knew. And they could have released this information and everyone would have pretty much been able to guess at that point that you heard what sounds like an implosion. It's not good. We now know that they found the debris field and that these individuals have lost their lives. And there's a ton of different anomalies and things connected to this. Everything from things that the CEO was doing to the Simpsons. What we do know for sure is that this vessel is gone and that this seemed to have served as a big distraction. What could it have been distracting from? Well, let's take a look at the big things that happened this week. One, JP Morgan deleted 47 million emails. That should be felonies all across the board right there, and it pertained to information that was under investigation. Joe Biden and the impeachment gets brought to the forefront, and they try to sweep it under the rug with the help of several Republicans that helped to do so as well. I told you, this is a left-right paradigm. You better wake up quick. The Pentagon misallocated funds for Ukraine, made a crazy accounting error for some $6.2 billion that gets to go to Ukraine. I mean, they ain't going to fix it and take it back. It's starting to feel like right before Blind 11. Hunter Biden gets charges put on him from the IRS. They go to Joe Biden's DOJ, and they come back as misdemeanors when they went in as felonies. John Durham holds his congressional hearing, blowing all of them out of the water, and no one has heard a word about it. No one has heard a word about these IRS whistleblowers coming forth and releasing brand new bombshell evidence against the Bidens, DOJ, and Garland. Nope, 0 minutes on the mainstream. But this whole week, they will let you think the guys are down there in the sub to distract, from all these other stories, and it seems like it was doing just that. Corruption at its highest form here. America, when are we gonna rise and take our country back?
Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel abroad, lift up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. It's just a quick lesson through the spirit. You fucking people are stupid. If y'all can't see right through this shit, you people are completely out your damn minds, man. They put shit right in front of you, and you just fall for any damn thing they tell you on the fucking news, man. Which the news is, a lot of this shit is pre-recorded. Just like, think about a movie theater, right? Like, think about filming a movie, right? Now, think about The Matrix. Let's just say if it took them 3 years, they had a script written, and they took them 3 years to write the script, probably 18 months to put it before cameras. Then 18 months, to say a year later, they released it. They already got the footage of it. They just released it at a later time, man. So a lot of shit you see on the news, a lot of the shit is pre-recorded, and they release it when they decide to release it because you have what they call selective news hearing. Now, certain live news stations are live broadcasted when they go on air and they go to certain shootings and shit like that. But a lot of that shit is scripted and staged too, man. But see, this is a distraction. There got to be something behind it because for the simple fact, like this guy just said, all the information about the IRS, Biden, Hunter Biden, and all this wickedness, this common collapse of the digital system, the Fed now being up and running next month. If you can't see through the bullshit they putting before you, and you people are just completely out your mind, man, because this is like the biggest story. Like, I mean, this story is more ridiculous than the fucking moon landing, man. I mean, same shit. Like, you seem to believe that, okay, you pay $250,000 to go on a goddamn tin can 2 miles in the ocean, because I believe the depth of the Titanic is 12,500 feet. You mean to tell me that this submarine, or whatever the hell you want to call it, all right, this fucking, the elders call this shit a bathtub, man. You mean to tell me that this fucking plank was able to descend fucking 12,500 feet into the ocean and it just exploded, right? Like, how stupid can you people really be? Now, they could have been on the way down there. I mean, you know, various things could have happened, but it's just too funny because the Simpsons went into an episode like this, and really this is all witchcraft. Okay, because I'm here to tell you people that, look, the Simpsons don't predict shit. They never predict anything. Okay, the Simpsons, they're juiced in. Matt Groening, he is I think like a 33rd degree Freemason or some shit. The dude is juiced in on a lower level of the elites. Like, same with Family Guy, same with all these mainstream cartoons. They show you this shit. Futurama, they're all connected. All the writers and the people that create the shows, they all go and they all know the script that the elites are putting out. It's all Hollywood theatrics, man, at the end of the day. Okay, me personally, and this is just my opinion, I don't believe that they even went down there in the first place because, I mean, how stupid. This guy's a billionaire, right? He owns the CEO of a country, of a business. 9 times out of 10, if you're a CEO of a business, then you have some ties to some type of Masonic order. I don't give a fuck who you are. You ain't making $1 billion unless you sell out. Okay, so you mean to tell me that this guy, okay, they, for one thing, quote unquote, predicted it this 15 years ago in The Simpsons that they got lost at sea, going to see a wreck, split it into 2 parts. Coincidentally, the Titanic is broken up into 2 parts, allegedly, okay? Because honestly speaking, I don't believe a vessel made in the 1800s, early 1900s, is able to sustain that type of depth from the pressure of the ocean, man. Okay, just the pressure alone going beneath the surface of the earth and going down into the deep. Just alone, that just would have disintegrated that ship. Okay, so me personally, I mean, hey, they say they found the wreck. You watch the movie James Cameron Titanic. Allegedly, when he showed the movie and he showed the footage, allegedly that was the actual wreck. Could be. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm pretty thinking that at this point in time, it's been over 100 years. the ship is probably disintegrated by now. And just going down that deep, the pressure of the ocean probably would have tore that thing apart, man. Okay, I don't believe anything in the 1900s or that was created, because that was a common design of a ship. Like you got what they call White Star Line. At that time is what they were called. I don't know what they're called today, but they're still around under a different name. But I refuse to believe that the ships created in the 1800s, 1900s was able to withstand that type of in-depth pressure of the ocean. So it's really witchcraft, and it's really they running a number on you people, man. Okay, then again, you know, if they did make a trip, who knows? Because the news is talking about it, and like he said, coincidentally, they already knew. Biden already know it. Look, okay, they have this much. It's kind of fishy, you know. But my thing is, let's say if they did make that move, Leviathan could have got their ass, man. But it's all the distraction, man, because it's just a lot of wickedness going on in the planet Earth, and Esau Edom is running the fucking game on you people. Like, you people are just dumb as hell. All right, because it says the Simpsons fans say show predicted Titanic submarine disappearance 17 years ago. And what are the chances that they made an episode regarding this? Because it was on World Star Hip Hop. I believe a guy interviewed one of the producers of The Simpsons, and he was like, "How do y'all come up and predict this shit?" He said, "Well, it ain't really that." He says like we dictate. Okay, meaning that they dictate, meaning scripts involved, meaning that they actually understand and they know what's gonna happen before it happened because they plan the shit. It's basically Esau playing a prophet on the left-hand side. He has his left-hand prophets, man, known as his astrologers and his stargazers and his prognosticators and all these other things. But then again, you know, with the Titanic, you have different stories out there. You know, what we believe is that Leviathan got that motherfucker, man, okay? But the real story behind the Titanic, allegedly it crashed into an iceberg. Some people say that the ship was on fire for 6 days up until the sinking. Some people said it was sabotage, which I highly believe it was sabotage. I believe, of course, Leviathan, you know, could have, whatever, you know, in a spiritual sense. But according to, you know, what's coming out now, they didn't just hit an iceberg, you know. It's just that was done purposely. And allegedly the ship was burning for days in a hole at the bottom. The ship's hole down at the lower levels, and allegedly nobody put it out. And then, you know, they had some very important people on there coming to protest this establishment of the 1913 Federal Reserve, and then shortly commenced there after World War One. But I do believe that it was an intentional wreck. It was a false flag, as they would call it. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to get rid of people that had the power to stop shit from like what you see today. All of it come about from the Federal Reserve, man. You know, so, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. But the Simpsons, they didn't predict shit, man. All right. It says in the past, the animated TV show has seemingly prophesized bizarre historical events which actually came to pass, such as Donald Trump's 2024 presidential run and the death of Queen Elizabeth. They know this because it is in the script. It says this time the show may have predicted the disappearing of the Ocean Gate submersible that was explored during the ruins of the Titanic. It says originally airing in 2006, season 17, 10th episode titled Homer's Paternity Coup features Homer Simpson's long-lost father, Mason. You see that? Mason, right? Mason Fairbanks giving a rather chilling speech before going under the sea with his son. He says, "Today I'm filled with joy, searching for treasure with my long-lost son." It says, "My dream of each of you is to find that you find happiness I feel today," declared Fairbanks. It says, after exploring it a bit, the duo comes across the remains of a massive ship filled to the brim with treasure. Okay, and I mean, I don't have to go any further, but the world is just, you people are fucking through, bro. Y'all deceive by every goddamn thing, man. All right, because y'all are ruling out what we call the Leviathan. And Leviathan could have got their ass, man. You know, and honestly speaking, who gives a shit? Like, who gives a fuck? I mean, honestly speaking, all you simple-minded peons here, oh my God, that was just so sad. If something imploded, they found the wreck, they found different parts of something. I just, it don't really sit well with me, man. You know, it imploded. One source saying, "Oh well, that wasn't any type of evidence that it imploded. We don't know. They disappeared. X, Y, and Z happened." Then some people saying, "Oh, we found it," and you know, it's just a lot of different stories out here. And to show you that Esau's witchcraft is wearing thin because it don't make no sense. All right. So this is Job 41:1. It says, can thou draw us out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with the cord which thou lettest down? It says, can thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Or would he make many supplications to thee? And when he speaks soft words unto thee, would he make a covenant with thee, and would thou take him for a servant forever? No, man. Okay, because we know that Leviathan, man, he deals in the ocean. He deals with the floor. The scriptures say that the Lord has given him the seventh part. Okay, now you got a different concept of Leviathan too, which the scriptures go into that serpent, going into this damn devil. Okay, because he has a serpent-like nature. And Esau is given him, the Most High is giving him rule over the earth temporarily. But it's all based in deception on how Esau is going about this thing. And those of us that's in to know, we see right through the bullshit. We know that this is a cover-up to whatever else is going on. Okay, that footage of that whatever vessel, that could have been 5, 6, 7 years ago. He just chose to air it today. Okay, because like I said, a lot of these news, like a lot of them are like when they air, some of them are live, but some of them, they just is past footage. It's just like a movie. It's just like you film a movie and you set a release date and then it comes out on IMAX and there go the fucking movie. Like Esau and got people in a slumber, man. But it's all good. All right. Let's go here, man. And this is a couple of quick precepts. I didn't really have nothing solid, concrete as far as meaning that I didn't really have anything in depth on this lesson, but it just the spirit, like just speak on it, you know what I'm saying? And we just go into the precepts, but it's all witchcraft at the end of the day. Okay, this is the book of Psalms 104, and I'm gonna start at verses 24. It says, "O Yahweh, how manifold are thy works." It says, "In wisdom thou hast made them all, and the earth is full of thy riches. So is this great wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable," meaning that you have all, and I went into it earlier, I said you have all types of species and different types of colonies that dwell on this earth, from the animal kingdom to the birds, you know, to the sea creatures and so forth. You have all types of mammal that we haven't discovered. Okay, everything earth counterpart, you have a land counterpart for it. We haven't seen inkling. We haven't seen a crumb of the Lord's creation. So you think Esau Edom is telling you? Esau don't even know himself. You think Esau discovered the whole earth? Fuck no, man. He can't. The Lord won't allow him to do it. All right. It says here, "So is great the wide sea, where are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts." And it says, "There go the ships, that there is a Leviathan whom thou hast made to play therein." So this says Leviathan have, you know, he have pretty much control, or he dwells in the seas, in the oceans, the deep. You see? And it says, "And these wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them meat in due season," man. Okay, but when you go into the word Leviathan, it just goes into like a serpent. But let me double check, because last time I checked, it went into like a serpent. But it goes Leviathan, sea monster, dragon. Okay, large aquatic animal, perhaps an extinct dinosaur. Plesiosaurus, exact meaning unknown, which means that the Lord have things out there that we can't possibly describe, man. Okay, it was a movie called, it came out like in 2017. I remember me and a brother went to see it. It was about basically they going all the way down to the earth, the ocean floor, and they encountered this big serpent-like Leviathan type creature. You know what I'm saying? It was like 7 miles down or something like that. And, you know, they couldn't understand or fathom what the hell it was up against. But we do know that Yahweh Shai is manifold in his works. It said it. It says how he manifold in thy works. When you're manifold, that means that your manifold goes into basically like the diversities, man. You know, it's more than one. It ain't just one species of cat or one species of canine. Okay, one species of fish. No, the Lord has multiple. You see? So we can't put Yahweh Shai in a box. So let's just say if they did go down there, Leviathan could have got him. I mean, that's not I mean, it ain't that it's, that's always a possibility of that. But just the way that the story is written, the fact that these people wrote a script on this shit 17 years ago, you mean to tell me that a CEO was going to actually go down there and coincidentally he fell into play? No. Okay, this is all part of the fucking script. Now, Esau Edom does have his stargazers. He does have his men on the left-hand side. that do go in and they create and conjure up demons and put events into place, but it's all through the left hand of the Most High. All right. Let's go from here to the book of Isaiah 47. It's Salakia, Russian. I got to leave out in a minute. But this is the book of Isaiah 47. And I'm going to start at verses let's start at verses 9. It says, but these two things should come unto thee a moment in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, and they should come upon thee in thy perfection and the multitude of thy sorceries. Okay, it says, for thy great abundance of thy enchantments, their witchcrafts, their sorceries, because the ancient Chaldees were involved in heavy witchcrafts. Okay, from your presidents to your congressmen to your city congress or your city councils, your state senators. All these men are pretty much lower level Chaldees. Okay, they're lower level luminaries. They go to these meetings, they get emails, and they all go to these places and they pretty much they fucking conjure up demons and they pray to Satan, man. Okay, all these mayors. That nigga Quentin Lucas, you think he's not juiced in? Think he's low level, but nonetheless, hey, if you the mayor of a city, it's because you done something behind a curtain, man. That's why we telling you that everything you see ain't what it seems. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, that thou hast said, none seeth me. And it says, in thy wisdom and thy knowledge it have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know whence it rises. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and shall not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. But stand now with thy enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. It says, if so, thou should be able to profit. If so, thou mayest be able to prevail. So we're seeing right through the bullshit. Okay, it's just like, okay, bro, this is sloppy. Just like any big story. Like the whole thing, September 11, bro. They was talking about that shit in the early 90s. The Simpsons allegedly came up with that prediction too. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's all sorcery, man. Okay, you can't believe anything that this devil says. Okay, then again, I'm not saying that they didn't go down there and got fucked up, but it's highly unlikely. That's just my opinion. I think it's highly unlikely, okay, because we know how Esau gets down. But regardless of that, if the Lord brought judgment, then he brought judgment. Okay, I believe more of a fact of a Leviathan getting them before they just disintegrated into pieces. I fell to believe that people are that damn stupid. But then again, you know, this is Esau we're talking about. His pride is great. Oh, I don't have to do no maintenance on this. We good. Nigga, you plunge 2.5 miles in the ocean on a fucking tin can and a Sprite can and see how far you gonna go. You bought that on yourself, man. And anybody that was stupid enough to follow them, you know. But it says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these that should come upon thee, right? So your counsels, your sorceries, man, all this shit is growing old. I mean, when you go on TikTok, it's just a bunch of folly, man. I mean, it's just folly all over the place. Look at this.
And experts are evaluating it.
You know, and what's really funny
this
is
was
the comments.
for all of us, and it's especially difficult for the families, and our thoughts are with the families today. But this was an immense support, and we had the right here on the bottom to find it. Thank you.
You mentioned the camera.
In the search area near the Titanic, what it is exactly still in question.
Underwater sounds might help narrow their search, whose coverage area has been expanded to thousands of miles.
The Coast Guard just announced that they discovered a debris field within the search area near the Titanic. The passengers vanished.
The U.S. Coast Guard tweeting out minutes ago that a debris field was found near the Titanic, and experts are evaluating it.
I see a lot of people wonder.
Look at the comments, man. It's just the comments of the people. It's like wow, man. People are really just so taken by this shit when you got an economic collapse on the brink. All right. Gross darkness cover the people. Yep, Isaiah 60, and I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, Arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and the gross darkness the people. Right, you people are in gross darkness. But the Lord shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee, man, okay? The men of the Lord, the hopeful elect. We're seeing right through it, man. Like I said, if this story is true or whatever, however they want to spin it, at the end of the day, man, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is in control of all things. All right, so we're not gonna be taken by the stupidity of the media, man. Okay, it was a precept I wanted to go into, but it just slipped my mind. Lord's will the Spirit gives it back. Oh yeah, the water. Revelation 20, and I'm gonna start at verses. Yep, I'm going to start at verses 7. It says here, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan should be loosed out of his prison and should go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. Okay, deceive. Okay, Diablos, God and Magog, to gather them together to battle, and the number of whom as is the sand of the sea. Okay, and that's the point. The deceiver, man. That's what Esau is. He's full of deception and lies. All right. One last precept, Revelation 18, and I'm going to start at verses 17. Yep, 17, and I'm going to start at verses 23. It says, And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Okay, nothing more than sorcery. Even if this is somewhat true, or they have some type of, this did happen, it's still based on witchcraft and deception, because I mean they put it in a fucking cartoon 7 years ago. I mean that tells you that they didn't predict shit. They knew about it. Okay, so anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and a Baba Shalom.